Pardon me and my tone. You can't step to my throne. They ain't working like me. I did this on my own. You asking where we been, huh? I don't know where to begin, huh? All this dirt on my skin. I just came here to win. I'm more than a man, I'm a monster. Somebody call a pastor, doctor. I got a 6 sense for imposters. So now I'm coming for the whole roster. It's not a game, why you playing with me? You could double back, lose track, try and hang with me. It must be in my veins, something you can't tame, cause I break the chains. Can't control me. I got the power, I got the keys, cause I break the chains. They try to hold me, I'ma push back, just wait and you'll see. Please excuse me, your honor, but you can't hold me no longer. Can't you feel the vibrations? I broke out and left traces. Go ahead, try catch me if you can, man. You'll be looking all night, I'm the Sandman. New York, London to Japan. I'ma show the whole world who I am. Boom, boom, boom. Major look.
Once again, thanks for tuning in. You're listening to World Combat Sports, SKIDMARK Chronicles EP9. You know what it is. July 24th, Retribution at 51 days remaining. Yes, sir. It's getting closer and closer each and every day. And of course, this is about boxing talk also. We're going to touch bases on Malik Scott's interview with PBC Podcast. He mentioned some very good points in there. Kind of gave y'all a closer look as to his mindset, being a part of the camp and everything that goes along with it. It's very important to, speak on this with this podcast, because a lot of people may be assuming what's going on in the camp, or, they overlook the fact that, Wilder's the biggest name that's popping in boxing right now. He's on the eve of stepping into the ring again with one of the biggest fights in boxing history for a trilogy with Tyson Fury. So I'm going to play some of the audio from the PBC podcast that happened yesterday. And it was pretty informative, man. Let's take a look into it.
How is everything in Tuscaloosa? I believe you are in Alabama right now.
Yeah, I'm in Tuscaloosa down here. We're training camp. I've been coming down here for some years, man. Probably, I think 10 years, 9 years, something like that. I'm sure I'm off somewhere, but it's like my second home. We pretty much locked in right now for camp. Deontay's mindset is in the perfect place where I dreamed it would be for this type of task we have ahead of us. And our preparation is more intact, more than ever. He's looking better than he's ever looked. And he's, just the mentality that he's at right now is like perfect for like I said, the task at hand, because we got to be on point, and we are on point. We have to be ready, and we are ready. Just fine tuning and keeping all the T's crossing and all the I's dotted.
He said, we on point. We got to be on point. We got to be on point. We on point. Either way, they're preparing for the best Tyson Fury. It's no slouching around. It's no overly exaggerating with the assumptions that they have all the answers. We really don't know all the answers to what's going to play out July 24th. But the way they're training, they have enough experience being in the ring twice already to what they heading into come July 24th in the Allegiant Stadium. All that with film study and, Malik Scott being the head trainer now. I think a lot of people sleeping on this dynamic. You know what I'm saying? I really think people are sleeping on Malik Scott being in the picture. You know what I'm saying? They talk about how he speak and, he don't listen to human beings, but really you might not be mature enough to understand what conscious level he's coming at you from.
Yeah, you kind of led to my next question because I watched your interview with Deontay on 78 Sports, and the vibe that came off was real intense, really focused. Would you say that's correct?
Waking up to find another.
Yeah, absolutely is correct because in this fight, we're not. I don't consider Tyson Fury and a contender style opponent.
So you heard them speak about being in the ring in the AM, leaving, and basically talking up what they need to do next for the trilogy because it was it was in the contract, point blank period. And they talk about the adjustments they need to make. Listen to Malik. Some people are more so discrediting and comparing him to what he did or did not do in the sport of boxing, more so to what sound creativity of intelligence he can provide to stepping in there again against Tyson Fury. There's a lot of people in professional sports that may have never played the sport, or they actually played the sport, but the level of respect comes with how much they've done in the sport. But sometimes when it comes to the thought process, how genius a person can come up with creativity and apply it, Then it turns from checkers to it comes off the checkerboard to the chess and becomes much more methodical. And if Malik can derive, film study, take bits and pieces from it, and then apply it to his training, to what we've seen Deontay Wilder from the past, to what he's training for on July 24th. He steps through the ropes and see a significant improvement. And then guess what? Once again, people are going to say what they say. I'm not saying they're going to praise Team Wilder and Malik Scott when Deontay Wilder comes in there and look different. I just think more so people need to understand change can be made with Wilder stepping in there. Just like they was all jumping up, tapping their heels when they said Sugar Hill went in here and changed up Tyson Fury. You even heard Tyson Fury say you can't teach an old dog new tricks, right? That's not exactly true. You can't say that for, Deontay Wilder when you actually co-signed Sugar Hill coming on deck again and teaching you some new shit. You know what I'm saying? You have to take that in consideration. Back to the podcast.
Just have to be put in place, and it works perfect because I believe one of the most imperative things between fighter and training is just not the teaching.
It's good, L-Dub, Alexander.
Take your videos to the next level. Go to motionarray.com and get.
Tanisha have. I know great duos that.
Look, I'm just gonna tell you, it's gonna be breaks. They have advertisement all through this vid, so don't trip.
Teaching the technicalities.
Sir Ken in the building, salute.
But they thrive so much off of having each other.
World Combat Sports, salute to the wrenchers, salute to the chat. Smash the like button. Appreciate you there, Sir Ken, in the building.
Chemistry with each other. Now, in this case, with my mentality and my experience and my boxing brain mixed with our chemistry, mixed with Deontay Wilder's killer instinct, mixed with everything he's receptive to on learning now, it's going to be a bad night for Fury come this trilogy. It's going to be a very bad night, man, because, like I said, all the T's are crossed and all the I's are dotted. I really, truly believe, I know Deontay is about to be two-time heavyweight champion of the world.
Malik Scott mentioned chemistry. He mentioned Deontay Wilder's killer instinct. Put that all together, Tyson Fury is going to be in trouble. They pretty much at an all-time high with their confidence level, stepping into the battlefront once again, man, for one of the biggest fights in boxing history. You rarely see trilogies happen. You know what I'm saying? You rarely see heavyweights facing fighters a third time over. But you've noticed over time, Deontay Wilder fought Bermain Stavern again. He fought Luis Ortiz. He's coming in fighting a trilogy with Tyson Fury. So the determination is there still. You know what I'm saying? It's no depression. It's none of that shit. That was just a derogatory description placed upon Deontay Wilder for what people seen happen on February 22nd. It was nothing that was actually verbalized from Deontay Wilder. He never gave any impression that when he mentioned how his legs felt bad and everything else. And then, my mind was depressed. He mentioned a whole lot of other things was going on, but he never mentioned anything about depression. It's just from the silence that nerved certain individuals that felt entitled to hear from the champ. They said, if I can't hear from him voluntarily, then what? I will start trying to pull it out. So therefore, now you take to the media, now you take to the headlines, you start creating narratives, and you're talking about he was depressed and mentally broken, and he'll never fight again. And that really didn't at all pull it out of him. You know what I'm saying? You still didn't hear anything. So when it comes down to them PBC asking him the depression question, I don't even know why the question was even asked, unless it came from a doctor or it came out of the mouth of Deontay Wilder himself.
Love it. We also heard a lot about step aside money, and it seemed the narrative was that money was what Deontay wanted. Could you clear that up for us?
Okay, so they were saying that something about step aside money. Before that even came up, Deontay wasn't even interested in step aside money. The type of money that they would have had to pay a month, Deontay, with the mentality he has right now, Bill Gates doesn't even have that kind of money. The number is not even imaginable for what he wants. Tyson Fury in blood, not money. You get what I'm trying to say? Fighting in this up.
I mean, that's a different type of wager, isn't it? I mean, just think about it realistically. If somebody refused to take a payout, not to confront you, you know what I'm saying? This is the individual that you have fought before. They refuse to take a payout this time around. When you are the champion, you was able to lift the belt, but you're unable to present an amount of money to satisfy or appease him not stepping back in the ring with you, so you can head over there to the UK and fight Anthony Joshua on the undisputed, and so-called make $80 million, $100 million, whatever the numbers may be. I think in the mindset of Deontay Wilder, outside wanting blood, he definitely wasn't going to provide Tyson Fury the opportunity of glory. Could you imagine Deontay Wilder allowing Tyson Fury that glory? There's no way. There's no way in hell that shit was going to happen, that Deontay Wilder was going to say, okay, go ahead and fight Joshua for the undisputed, and one of y'all be undisputed. We're talking about on British soil. You actually believe that his mindset was to allow him to take step aside money, knowing what his people would have said about him being weak, scared, and running away from the challenge? Think about that. The vilification would have been astronomical when it came down to Deontay Wilder taking step aside money. With the fans that was vilifying him initially, it would have increased tenfold. It would have been so many voices over here on YouTube speaking about the reason why Wilder took step aside money, how weak it was, how he don't have any heart no more. You know, I heard a boxer the other day that I mentioned, talking about when you take somebody's heart, they ain't the same. So, you know, I can only make this assumption, you know, from my competitive level. I can only make this assumption: when you take somebody's heart, they're not going to be in court doing with the arbiter trying to settle a situation legally about stepping back in the ring with the man who took his belt. If he didn't have any heart, he has enough money and property just to sit there and lounge around and not do anything. But that wasn't the case. He fought for it. So not having any heart, that's out of the question. Being depressed, that's out of the question. So now people want to say, well, there's a lot more other things that's going on that we know. You can't get any better than what you did the second time. And you call, you know, we should call Deontay Wilder block squad, because he's blocking undisputed that not everybody want to see. Not everybody want to see this undisputed, this fantasy undisputed that was out here. It was never a real fight. It was just something that was placed out there as a distractor. Remember that.
Arbitration is being quiet while stones is being thrown at him and dealing with everything on the outside of the ring. He's constantly building this, going through everything was going through. I'm seeing this face first because it's my brother, so I'm getting to see it. The world wasn't seeing it because once a fighter is in the ring, people seem to forget they like outside of the ring, especially the casuals. They seem to forget they like outside of the ring. And most boxers, especially at that level, that's competing at that level, after they get out of battle, yeah, win, lose, or draw, someone has to win, someone has to lose. Deontay lost. A light went on, and we put the play in motion for everything that's going on now. So he never was depressed, like never. He was focused on the play that we put together for now, and it's materializing now. He's being the head trainer. Someone else is coming in, doing this, building a facility. So when he roll out of bed, he's training. When he roll out of bed, he's going into his recovery tank. When he roll out of bed, the nutritionist is right there. This is all the state of a man being depressed because he was preparing for a trilogy that most people didn't even think was going to happen. He never was depressed. It was all bullshit.
When I was 11 years old, my dad took me camping in the northern woods of Wisconsin. It was literally in the middle of nowhere. I'll never.
We kind of figured. How difficult was it though to maintain your silence? I mean, there was so much said from the other side, from the media, from fans, and it was radio silence from Team Wilder. How difficult was it to not want to, grab a microphone and say, everything you're saying is wrong?
Well, it wasn't hard for us because we knew the truth. And when you know the truth and when you really know what's going on, it's actually fun staying silent. It becomes.
Did you hear what they said? Malik Scott said, when you know the truth, it's actually fun being silent. The truth is and has everything to do with this storyline about Wilder returning to the ring. It has everything to do with it. Even Wilder mentioned it himself in his interview. He said, we had all the evidence. We knew what it was. We had the evidence. So no one can be mad at him going into the court system and fighting for somebody who's been portrayed as depressed and have, no heart to want to stay in arbitration as long as he did, win, and now he's back in training. He's putting videos out. He's not underground. So you ask yourself, who's actually looking the strongest mentally?
It's really a humorous thing because you're looking at a bunch of people talk about things that's non-existent. You're looking at a bunch of people believe narratives that was made up by clowns. You're looking at a bunch of people create narratives that don't even exist. So it becomes an entertaining thing from our standpoint of view because we know the truth. We know Deontay was in the courtroom day in and day out. We know the arbitration was working in our favor. We knew that the date was most likely to be July and August. This is stuff that was already been talked about for the last months. Deontay's been confident about winning the arbitration ever since it started. Why this was the frustrating. I don't want to say frustrating. I would say this is, to me, was very peculiar. And me being in this game since I've been 12 years old, I've never seen promoters and fighters promoting a fight when they've already in arbitration having to handle a whole other fighter, having to fight a whole other fighter. That lesson goes to show we are in a world where whether something is true or not, people don't even give a shit. Because
well, something is true or not, people don't give a shit. Well, something is true or not, people don't give a shit. Is it a stimulated literacy deficiency? Is it something that people just don't give a damn about no more? Look, we're not talking about individuals that you would consider, illiterate in a sense. These are people who understand right from wrong cognizantly. You know what I'm saying? So when you say certain things, they're able to decipher what's right from wrong. But in this day and time, you have individuals that know something is dead as wrong, but they rather just go with the narrative, especially on this YouTube shit, because there's some people that's salivating and thirsty for company. You know what I'm saying? The company is those individuals that they never know. They just know them from YouTube and they want their company here, on the live chat and on their panel each and every day. They want the views to be up. I'm sorry. If I had that many people, let's just say I have 1,000. If I have 1,000 subscribers, right? If I had that many people around me every day, I wouldn't be on YouTube. If I had some loyal subscribers, individuals that I truly fuck with, 1,000. It's people that don't even have 3 friends that they trust in life. But you have individuals on YouTube now and you have voices that will tell you a blatant, straight up lie, and you have those who are behind the logo, and they would jump on YouTube each and every day and spit a totally false narrative. It has no validation to it whatsoever. And that's what Malik Scott was talking about. They thought it was a Deontay Wilder coat, because basically it don't matter if he what he did, whether it was good or bad. They still had something bad to say. They still had something to say about it. It didn't matter what it was. They still had something to say about it. So he's absolutely right. He's absolutely right what he just said.
Because a lie, a truthful, entertaining lie is more entertaining than the boring truth to people. It would have been quite boring for people to know, oh, Deontay is in court winning, the Trilogy Fury happened. Well, that's not that entertaining. It's more entertaining believing a lie, thinking that Tyson Fury is getting ready to fight Joshua when Tyson Fury is in court with Deontay Wilder and he's losing and a trilogy is happening. You hear what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So an entertaining lie, it will always be more appealing than the stone cold truth. And that's what how I analyzed that whole situation. It was all bullshit from all parties. I don't care for it. Eddie Hearn, Tyson Fury, like it just was all bullshit. And they like I don't even see how the public or the fans is not on their head about what the fuck was that about. Yeah. Like why isn't this like some type of negative parade going on about that? They sold a fight to fans that they knew wasn't going to happen. Now everybody is playing the victim. Well, I didn't know. Well, I didn't know. It was Bob. It was Eddie. It was Tyson. And Tyson saying it's Eddie. Awesome.
Did you hear what he said about the fight? How they was up here selling the fight? They was up here selling wolf tickets to something that people were believing to be true. Something that they believe to be authentic. You feel me? Like they truly believe what Eddie Hearn. How many times Eddie Hearn's gonna burn y'all? How many times will you be burned? And that's why I always say it's no such thing as the YTBC community, because if you had any structure, you would have never spoken on that fight with Eddie Hearns, knowing that the arbitration was still in play. You never would have created a live and spoke your piece, so to speak, on an absolute lie, just because it sounds good. Oh, now we have a box rec date August, but you should have asked yourself, but I'm not sure, I'm not confident if the arbitration is over with. Anybody can tell me if the arbitration is over with. No, you back it up a little bit, and before you jump out here and you put a false advertisement that this undisputed is going to be in Saudi Arabia, Eddie Hearns is pushing all this shit, and we're talking about people who have the contact number of those who was in the arbitration too. You know, Bob Arum, Frank Warren, all those guys that was in the arbitration. You trying to tell me as much money as you got, you cannot reach out to someone and find out if the arbitration has concluded? You trying to tell me there's no way that can happen? And I was disappointed on some of the media segues that was out here talking about this shit. Once again, just so people can tune in and they can spin narratives on that shit. They was talking, finally, no matter what you say, we got to fight. The undisputed is going down. As much as I want to mention names, I just don't have time for them to feel some type of way about the truth. Because the truth was, you spoke on a situation that was an absolute lie. It was never an Anthony Joshua Tyson Fury fight. And now that we know Wilder's facing Fury, if Fury shows up, then guess what? Now they're talking about, oh, we still gonna get the fight in December. We still gonna get the fight in December. They're so angry, man. They're mad. They're so upset right now, full of anxiety and shit, that this fight is actually going down. But yet they skip over it as if Deontay Wilder is an easy goal. You can look at this, right? You can look at it and listen. Tyson Fury saying he's gonna knock out Deontay Wilder in one round. You can listen to that and look at it however you feel. But if you're smart enough boxing fan, you can go back to all his fights and just help me understand. Drop it in my live chat of how many times Tyson Fury has knocked somebody out, the caliber of Deontay Wilder in his career. Who? Did he not knock out Klitschko? Did he knock out Klitschko? Okay, let's leave that alone. Let's leave that alone because he left the sport. He was a cheater. He left the sport. He was suspended. You know what I'm saying? Just leave that alone. On his way back to the sport, is there any of his opponents that match up to Deontay Wilder outside of his first and his rematch? Was it Sefer Safari, Francisco Pianeta, Tom Schwartz, or Otto Wallin? Any one of them guys on the level of Deontay Wilder? Did he run through them in just one round successfully, consistently?
And it's all bullshit. The truth is right here in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. The truth is Deontay Wilder is about to be two-time heavyweight champion of the world. This is the truth.
When I was 11 years old, my dad took me camping in the northern.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. Now, in that 78 Sports interview, I believe you said that, or Deontay said that you guys were friends before you fought and had met during a Klitschko camp. Is that right?
He said in the 78 Sports interview, always look at people who, like even my name, like when somebody's name is who their surname was given for a reason, and people act like they're too lazy to say the full name. And he said 78 Sports in 78 Sports TV. It's just certain, there's only 2 syllables left. But for some people in media, they don't want to give full credit to the source. And being that I pop out an article every now and then, you have to give credit to the source. You do. You have to give credit to the source. You're not going to get on here and say, you did that interview with Show, right? On Show, right? And it might be Showtime. It might be Showbox. But, when you say 78 Sports, you're not even giving him full credit because you're not even providing his full handle here on YouTube. You can call it petty all you want, but it still falls under the line of professionalism.
Yeah, we got together. They put us together in the Vitaly Klitschko camp when he was fighting Adam. We were in Adam camp. And usually when fighters are fighting the Klitschko, especially back then, you would have 6 or 7 guys that, that's preparing you to get ready, especially getting ready for a Vitaly. But in this particular camp, it's just like it was ordained. It was just myself and Deontay for 3 to 4 weeks straight just in camp with Adam. I've been to tons of camp. I'm known for being a camp sparring guy. I've never been in a camp when it was just 2 guys. me and Jay has always went over game plans together, has always brain kicked each other on game plans and stuff like that. So the first fight and the second fight training camps, they was very much similar. Nothing too much really changed as far as what we had to do. Because if you think, why would we have changed? Because in my opinion, Deontay was putting the pressure, but he was missing a certain amount of shots per round. He wasn't going to the body enough. So if anything, tactical adjustments was made that was taken into the second fight. But then in the second fight, Deontay was dealing with just so many issues, and I'm not even going to get into the issues he was dealing with, and that wasn't Deontay Wilder in that ring. And that's why I'm so confident that he's about to be two-time heavyweight champion of the world, because once again, I'm the closest eye to him. I'm knowing exactly what he's going through, how he's feeling, the fire that he's willing to walk through, though, because it's the responsibility as a real man and as a real fighter. But that wasn't him in the ring. If that was Deontay Wilder in that ring and gave it was extremely on point, extremely focused, wasn't feeling bad, wasn't going through all the other things that was happening during that fight, and he still lost like that, I wouldn't feel as confident as I feel right now. But I know that wasn't Deontay, and I know his capabilities. He got one of the strongest minds. Forget boxers, he got one of the strongest minds of any individual I've ever been around. You get what I'm trying to say? That wasn't my brother in that ring that night, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to correct the wrongs and become two-time heavyweight champions. We're already correcting the wrongs. You know what I mean? All this, the little clips people been saying, I am not saying this just to say this, guys. That shit is light. The stuff he's really doing, the stuff that we do not show, that's all pre-camp stuff. That's all pre-camp stuff. Obviously, you can see the improvement and stuff like that. That's just pre-camp stuff. The stuff he's really doing, I can't wait for y'all to see next month.
Hi, I'm Barry Williams.
It's going to be a beautiful thing, man. It's going to be a beautiful thing.
We can't wait either. Now, you mentioned that you're a film junkie, and we sort of seen it. I've seen it on your IG and so forth. What are you looking for when you study tapes of Fury? Is it habits, or is it something else that you can share with us?
What I'm looking for, not even when I'm watching Fury, when I'm watching any fighters, the first thing I'm looking at is what are it's not even what their weaknesses are or their strengths are. It's just what do they do in habits. You get what I'm trying to say? What do they do from their subconscious? What do they do instinctively? And then I can tell what they do on things that they drill. And that's all I can say about that without giving away too much. There's a lot of fighters that do a lot of things instinctively, and there's a lot of fighters that do a lot of things subconsciously. Then you have fighters that do
distinctively and subconsciously. I mean, Malik is putting his mental catalog together for him and Deontay Wilder to go in here next month and present the battle plan to the disperse of Fury, to decimate his ass. I mean, minds think alike. Well, I think a lot of people mad that you have, two black men trying to come up with creativity, ideas. Just like people was wondering who he's going to have in his camp. Who he's going to have in his camp? Who? I need to know who he's going to have in his camp. Well, he promoted or elevated Malik Scott, who he said he always wanted to, but he had, you can't have too many people on the team. Now he's in the position, and we all know the way Malik Scott thinks. So having that boxing experience as a pro himself, and being able to be that guy that's in a teaching position right now, along with film study and everything, the dynamic, I'm telling you, it's a special dynamic that's going on with this team. And people may undervalue it because they're linking up Malik Scott and Deontay Wilder as fighting before. And they didn't respect when they went in there and fought. But now it's a whole nother level people should be focused on. They should be focused on the minds of both individuals. You have the intelligence of Malik bringing his creativity to it, and then you have the fighter himself, Deontay Wilder, who bring his boxing IQ, his experience, and his killer instinct together, and they're going to come up with a plan. They're going to derive a plan, a strategical offense and defensive fight plan to step in there next month.
Do things because they practice it and they drill it tons and tons of times in training. And that, to me, is the superior fighter and athlete right there.
Now, John Fury, Tyson's father, said he saw the clips of you and Deontay working out, and he was complimentary. But one thing he did say is that he doesn't understand why you're having such a big man dip under blows and so forth. I don't know if you saw that comment, but what was your take on that?
Okay, I'm gonna say this. As far as a big man dipping under hooks, like just listen to how that sounds. Like a tall man shouldn't be able to slide under a hook. It's not like Deontay is trying to be Pernell Whitaker, or we're working on him getting all the way low. But a tall man with 10-ounce gloves on should always just catch a hook or pull back. There's only a few ways to get away from a hook. So you either catch it, which really is a still punch if your glove is on your head. The pressure of a punch is still going to go through with 10-ounce gloves on. Or you could pull back and weave it, the Klitschko style. So I said the Klitschko style because Vladimir and Vitaly is known for pulling back. Now, when Vladimir fought Anthony Joshua and he heard him with the hook right hand and knocked him down, when he got up, he did nothing but throw left hooks at Joshua. What did Joshua do? Slip under the left hooks. Real quick, Lennox Lewis fighting Michael Grant. He can't just block all those left hooks and keep his hand on the phone. Sometimes you got to catch a hook. There's a time to catch a hook. There's a time to slightly get under a hook as a big man. But I will understand what those guys are saying. If we was fighting Romain Stavern, or if we was fighting a short fighter, and I had Deontay ducking under hooks. No. We're fighting someone taller than us. We're fighting someone with just as much long arms as us. And anything that we can do.
When I was 11 years old, my dad took me camping.
So what you think about that? What do you think about what Malik just said? This is the man who asked him about John Fury on the fly. This wasn't something that was prevaricated. I mean, pre-planned. You know what I'm saying? He answered that shit smoothly and accordingly, expeditiously. He gave his reasoning. And he zipped it up, but we're not fighting Romain Stavern or a short fighter. We're fighting Tyson Fury, who everybody said, oh man, he's tall. He matched Deontay Wilder height for height, range for range. The man just broke down and itemized his intelligence when it comes to boxing as to why he's having Deontay Wilder slip on. He gave you two references. He gave you Lewis Hunter, and he gave you Klitschko Joshua. So whether John Fury was asking that question because he probably said himself, oh shit, all right. He wanted to criticize it. When in actuality, he probably looked at it and said, damn, that's smart. But putting it out to the media, he probably, he wanted people to frown upon it. But they know damn well when it comes down to July 24th, if they had success with that in the rematch, then it may be different in the trilogy. So either way you look at it, Malik gave a very defining answer on the fly. He's basically proven to the people that he's not just in here because he's on the team. The man is actually doing his homework, very smart, intelligent individual, and he broke that shit down beautifully.
You can say, well, it's not like Deontay is going all the way down like we're trying to be extra slick. No. No, if a hook is coming, it doesn't hurt if you can get under a hook. Why not if you can do it?
Yeah.
Every time I hear somebody, my logic with information from so-called experts in boxing is that. So he said, so let's say Peter or Tyson's dad said, or whatever they said about him getting under a hook. But basically the best fighter that comes from their family is slick and moves his head and get under hooks and get back from hooks and everything. So what's wrong with Deontay? Like, you get what I'm trying to say? This shit just doesn't make sense. Like, you get it just doesn't make sense because I can show you fighters, tall fighters, getting under hooks. Now the thing is this. Now you have to get under hooks accordingly on who you're fighting. fight.
Andrew in the building was good.
Remains to learn. If we're fighting the David Tua,
D. Hodges was good. Salute.
Short, Deontay is not getting under no hooks because he would have to give up his front line to go down to get under hook. But when tall fighters are fighting tall fighters, I think any defensive tactic it change because of the circumstances of the build of the fighter you're fighting. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, makes a lot of sense.
Listen to this real quick, guys. I am from the cloth of being in Lennox Lewis training camps, Vitaly Klitschko, Vladimir Klitschko, every tall guy, anybody that came through these last 2 decades, I didn't spend time with them. I don't have Deontay Wilder doing nothing that he's not supposed to be doing. That's some shit. That's another narrative that got put out there. You see that? That's how it goes. Something like that get put out there. But why does he have him dunking under a left hook? Because he's a tall fighter fighting a tall fighter that throw leads left hook, and we're not going to catch every left hook to be predictable. So y'all think we're a creature of habit? No, we're going to slide in some hooks. We're going to catch some hooks. We're going to pull back with answering the phone with some hooks. We're going to dip to the left. We're going to feint. We're going to do everything. We're going to do everything with a fighter like that. Of that stature, how Tyson Fury is tall and long and lean, and so that's why I'm so confident that Deontay is about to do this. I'm so confident in my teaching. Like I said before, I've had my career as a child, Junior Olympics, Olympic trials, as a professional. I took my record 41-2, 41-3, whatever it is. I'm not giving my opinion on my teaching from a place of guessing. All of this knowledge that I'm sharing with Deontay and my son or anybody else I train.
Hey, he's not coming from a place of guessing. The man is in the lab studying. And look, I would assume Malik just haven't started spinning real. I think this is something he does on a regular basis of educating himself. Like you said, he's been around Deontay Wilder for several years. So he just didn't come to the point where it's let me spin some reels now and improve my catalog of knowledge. Because people can be a part of a team all day long. But if you're in a prominent position on the team, and now what you say and do matters, and somehow, some way, there's going to be millions of people watching to critique the work that you have applied to Deontay Wilder next month, so they can evaluate you and come back on this media and YouTube and talk about the way Deontay Wilder looked. So I truly believe Malik Scott's taking this shit serious a while ago. It's
coming from the gods of knowledge. It's coming from Fred Jenkins. It's coming from Al Fennell, Al Mitchell, Joe Goosen, Emmanuel Stewart. These are all guys I spent time and years with. I'm not telling Deontay nothing that I'm thinking. I'm telling him things that I know. This is not opinionated teaching I'm doing. This is factual teaching. And I'm very passionate about it. And this is the most passionate job I've had my whole life. My whole life is training Deontay Wilder to beat Tyson Fury in his trilogy to get his title back. And that's saying a lot for someone that has his own career and has done things in his own life. This is my most important job. I take a lot of pride and passion in it, and I can't wait until you guys see how good Deontay is going to look when he becomes 2-time heavyweight champion.
Man, I love it. One thing that we noticed one difference between the first fight and the second fight were the weights, at least on the scales. Deontay weighed 212 for the first fight, 230 for the second. Would you like to see him lighter, heavier? Is there a target?
I would just like to see him in dog shape and whatever, because I look at it like this.
Malik, did he just say dog shape? He said he want to see Deontay Wilder in dog shape. Dog shape. It ain't no question, no ifs, ands, or buts. I want to see him in dog shape. Certain people know what dog shape is. It has absolutely nothing to do with the scales, people. Dog shape is preparing you for the fight that you're going to have to goddamn dig deep. Your adrenaline's going to take over. You know, just like Deontay's been in before. Just like he was battling out of that Luis Ortiz funk. Just like he was battling through February 22nd. Dog shape. If this shit has to go all 12 rounds to a man like Deontay Wilder, who's only been there twice.
Because when he was 209, he knocked Tyson Fury out, and then Tyson Fury got up and finished the fight. Then when he was 230, we took the loss to Tyson Fury, and we were dealing with issues in the fight, and feeling weak, and other things that was going on as far as the other side and things that was done. It's just no telling. But I can tell you one thing: no matter how much he wins, Deontay Wilder has the power to have to knock any heavyweight out from any era. And I say that unapologetically. I said a comment the other day that people ran with, and I gave him some more shit to run with. I'm saying this again: put him in any era,
Any era.
and he hit any heavyweight.
That includes Muhammad Ali too.
That's just facts. That's just facts.
Yeah, I think that's one thing most people would agree on.
Right.
Right. But you gotta realize, brother, you're coming from a logical, common sense standpoint. You have to realize that common sense is not common amongst most humans nowadays. Meaning you are having a conversation where 1 + 1 is 2. And you're like, yeah, of course. Well, a bunch of people will agree with that. No, they would not. Right? I don't give humans that kind of credit. I don't give them the benefit of the doubt. Like, I just don't. I just look at it like that's my way of thinking it, but I almost expect casuals to go against it. Just if you really think about the things that people believe nowadays, without any facts, it'll change your opinion on how to deal with people and how to observe people. And I've studied people my whole life, so I'm really good with distancing and understanding something or trying to understand someone, but keeping them over there a distance from, because everyone just believes what they want to believe. I can tell from our conversation, we like to believe the truth. Some people like to believe entertaining lies because an entertaining lie makes them feel better. That's so fucking sad to say, but that's the world we're in.
Yeah, absolutely.
A made up narrative makes them feel like they have a chance. A made up narrative makes them feel like they're equal with whoever it is their opposition may be. A made up narrative makes them feel like, well, I'm better than this person because I made up a narrative that's not even true to make myself think I'm better than this person. It's crazy out here, man.
You said it. Malik, you mentioned the possibility of bringing in another voice to the training camp. Is that still happening, and is there anything you could share with us on that?
It's definitely someone else that we are adding on. You guys know him. Most casuals should know him, but once again, I'm surprised. Be surprised if casuals didn't know him. But he's a good guy. We're definitely bringing him on, and he's going to be a lot of help in the corner.
You can't give us a name, I guess, huh?
I cannot do that.
Okay. So the obvious question is
He said, I cannot do that.
Why bring in another trainer? You just wanted to get another voice?
No, because that's my edge. Because that's my edge as a teacher. I'm not a know-it-all. I'm always seeking to learn. Yes, I know this noble art very, very well, but I don't know it all.
Got it.
We don't know it all. You get what I'm trying to say? No one knows it all. I'm just the only person that really, really means that statement literally and genuinely. And that's what makes me dangerous as far as being a good teacher. I don't know it all. And guess what? This is going to sound even crazy. I don't want to know it all. I want to remain a student forever. I get a kick out of not knowing to learn more. You get what I'm trying to say? I hope.
That's actually really smart. Yeah, that's really smart. Once you stop learning, you kind of stop living in a way.
And that's in everything, bro. My son is 16 years old, and he thanks me all the time for training him. And I thank him all the time, but he don't even know I'm growing with him. I have a daughter that's 8. I learned from her. I have JD, who's been managing fight. I learned from him. I learned from Deontay. I learned from every fucking body, everybody. So you ask, why are we bringing someone else in? Because none of us know everything. And the more weapons we have, the more dangerous this corner is.
The more weapons they have, the more dangerous that corner is. It's point blank period _.
If you could take us through what Deontay's mindset is right now. I mean, from or even from that night, in February 2020 to now. How did he deal with everything, and what is his mindset right now?
This is going to sound very bold, but it's just kill, and in a very certain
Kill.
Before Deontay, in my opinion, he went out there and just hit guys. And there's times he set guys up, you know, Ortiz too. A lot of people didn't like that fight, but I really enjoyed that fight because Deontay had to show patience to knock out someone that was still tricky, that was still technically sound. He had to show patience to catch Ortiz. So I liked it, that fight right there. But right now, we just got the sauce. We got this.
The sauce, baby.
I just can't wait for you guys to see it, man.
The sauce.
More receptive than ever, more sharper than ever, more faster than ever. Because, like I said, he built a facility to become better. On his property is a facility he built to become better. You know what I'm trying to say? So we in the forest getting it in, bro.
Malik, some people wonder after what happened in the second fight, how could Deontay possibly make the changes necessary to turn the tables? What are your thoughts on that? Is that a reasonable way to think given what happened?
See, this is a big question. Everybody has twisted and turned and spin or wrapped around whatever they chose to. You know what I'm saying? Recycled it, flushed it, pulled it out the septic tank. There's a lot of people that truly don't believe that changes can be made effectively for him going back in there because, once again, they don't believe in the champ. They don't believe in Deontay Wilder himself. So they're going to shut down every possibility for him to come in with improvement because they're just basically being stubborn and closed-minded to the idea that within 15 months, at his age, people don't want to believe that the change can be made. But yet they glorify Fury coming in here, prolonging a rematch, then take the immediate rematch, fought 2 other fights, went to WWE, came back and fought, and all the glory goes to Sugar Hill. All the glory goes to Sugar Hill for reinventing Tyson Fury. All the glory. Well, guess what? Just make sure you keep that same motherfucking energy because 15 months is a long time to be in the lab cooking. For real. 15 months is a long time to be putting together that plan, that battle plan to go into war again. As we say in the military, going back in country, going outside the wire.
Say it again. I'm sorry. What's the question?
Some people wonder.
I heard you. I just want to make sure I answer you correct. I want to make sure I got the right question.
Yeah, some people out there, obviously, they wonder, after what happened in the second fight, they wonder how could Deontay possibly make adjustments, make the changes necessary to turn the tables after such a setback like that. What are your thoughts?
I don't know. I look at
What's going on, Stormy B? Salute to you, my brother. Y'all be sure to subscribe to his channel. Check him out. I don't have to tell you that.
That's kind of what I'm saying.
Okay, so we'll say after a loss like that, right? Usually, I've seen fighters, those kind of
Y'all check him out.
Make fighters never the same again, and you can see it in their spirit. You can see it like when they train. You can see it in their intent with things they do outside of boxing. I'm not gonna bring that up. That's my guy. But I've just seen those kind of losses, like just deter fighters spiritually as well as physically.
Right.
This case, that loss, it made him more vengeance. It made him more vicious. It made him training more. It made him hungrier. It, like I said, it made him build a facility. So all he's doing is training. His mindset is more stronger than it was before that fight. I'm not telling you what I think. I'm telling you what I know from my own eyes and what I'm seeing. The minute he took that loss, 3 hours later, he was so upset, not depressed, please, upset, that he began to put the plan in play for everything that's going on now. And I believe that loss and everything that happened with it, I'm going to say this. I'm going to say it's one of the best things that ever happened to Deontay. Because they woke up a fucking monster.
Wow.
Great. Very right now.
So this is a very broad question. Maybe you could answer it in general terms somehow. So what adjustments does Deontay need to make? I guess technically in the ring to turn the tables.
In the Fury fight, right?
Correct. Yeah.
I just feel as though Tyson Fury is who he is. He was a boxer his whole career. The second he came forward, the fight before Deontay, he came forward when the blood was all over the place, and he got overweight, and he put weight on. I'm not even gonna say that weight was put on intentionally. I'm gonna say weight ended up coming on him, and he realized I can't move how I was moving in that first fight. I'm gonna roll the dice and take my chances to just go to this motherfucker. So that means he's either gonna come forward or he's going to be boxing. Either way, Deontay has the answers now because we're working on. Obviously, I can't give you guys game plan and stuff like that. But the adjustments, the necessary adjustments are being made, and we still got 2 months basically. The fuck, man, we still got 2 months, and he's firing on all cylinders right now. Yeah. So it'll be good, man.
Yeah, I'm more excited than I was a half an hour ago. If Deontay were to come back and impressively knock out Fury, that would be one of the biggest triumphs in boxing in many years, I think. I think it would take him from superstar status to kind of like a legend. Have you guys do you guys talk about that? Have you thought about that?
What, as far as after the fight?
Yeah, what it would do, what an impressive victory would do in terms of the way that Deontay's perceived.
Well, my focus really is on what I know is going to do to him. And that's what's making me go so hard in this training. I know the man so well, and I know what really, 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 really bothers him. And him getting this victory in this trilogy is going to do something for him in a positive way spiritually. Now, everything that after that, I can't even think that far. I'm eating, sleeping, and shit. Nothing but Tyson Fury and game plan and strategy, and that's it. Like, that's all I'm doing, guys. It's literally every time Deontay and Jay call me, I'm in front of the laptop and I'm in front of the big screen. Every time someone else calls me, I'm going over notes. Every time someone else talks, I'm training myself. Every time I am really on this because I know what we're dealing with. I'm not naive or ignorant enough to say, oh, Tyson Fury can't fight, man. We're going to fuck him up this time. Yeah, even if we is going to fuck him up like we are, it's not because he's not a dangerous fighter. It's because we are that much better. Come next.
Even if we fuck them, which we are, it's going to be because they're that much better. It's going to be because they're that much better. And that's the whole process of the 15 months that we've been out through this pandemic and heading to onto the battlefields once again. You know, you have to come in there better and more improved. Understand this. This is a fighter who was undefeated, who had slept all his opponents, and people still criticizing how he was going into the ring and fighting because they couldn't understand how and why he was knocking motherfuckers' heads off. Now that he's taken his first loss and the pandemic has extended boxing and allowed Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury to go through arbitration, which extended and shut down any possibility of Tyson Fury fighting anybody else, that was even more time for him to train.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Perfect way to end it.
Because I really know what we're dealing with. And to me, when you treat a killer accordingly, it makes it much more easier to handle or deal with. But you have to know who you're dealing with. And I know what I'm dealing with Tyson Fury because I sparred him. We come up together. Like, you get what I'm trying to say? I just know what I'm dealing with. And it's making everyone on this team go so much harder.
Well, Malik, you just told us how busy you are. So in light of that, we really appreciate you taking the time to join us today.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I appreciate it, guys. And thanks for reaching out. And look forward to Deontay being two-time heavyweight champion, man. I hope to see everyone in Vegas.
Oh, we'll be there. We will definitely be there. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
Take care.
Yes, sir. That was the one and only head trainer, Malik Scott. King Wilder giving his one-on-one interview. Before it was him and Wilder, you know, on the same interview with 78 Sports TV. And then, you know, PBC had their interview with Deontay Wilder, and now that was Malik Scott. And, you know, you can tell the entire team, including Malik Scott, they're entirely focused on making changes. You know what I'm saying? They totally understand what wasn't broke, didn't need fix. But when he took his loss, even though Deontay Wilder wasn't 100% in what I'm used to seeing, in Deontay Wilder, as far as his strength, the way he was moving, his confidence, and just his overall behavior, they still felt there was a need to make changes. So during this pandemic, man, you see, the quiet before the storm. Now that the arbitration is over, perfectly planned, they start inserting, as Malik said, light cameo videos of him training, just to give the fans a perspective on what he's working on. And of course, you have to look at people who's just not going to give him any credit, period. They themselves, they couldn't break down what changes he's making. But, you saw John Fury, criticize why he was, ducking underneath the hook. You know what I'm saying? He was like, why would he teach him that when Tyson Fury is just as tall as Deontay? And then you have individuals saying that, his footwork, nothing haven't changed with his footwork. Even though the videos clearly, you can clearly see he's doubling up on some of his punches outside of the right hand. He's doubling up on the hook to the body. He's still sending the right hand down the middle. But, he's cutting angles, using his mobility, not being stationary. And he's using his defense. They're working on head movement, getting off line. All that comes down to a perfect plan that needs to be executed from a fighter who's 42 victories into his professional career. 42 victories into his professional career with 41 knockouts, y'all. He doesn't hit the bag. He's not doing this. He's not doing that. All that is dumbfounded. We just focus on next month. We focus on the videos that's coming out from what we see. If he is able to have a media day, we get to see that. I already, when I seen him, I went to 2 of his fight camps. When I seen him, I actually had the opportunity to see him spar 3 heavyweights in one night. I seen him spar 3 sparring partners in one night. I've seen it. I've been in his camp where he was jumping rope. With so much say so out here, criticism that he doesn't do this, that, and the other from people who never even had the opportunity to be blessed and visit his training camp. Because there's a lot you can learn about a fighter. So if you're out here doing this media shit and you have people in the chat saying, well, he don't even hit the bag. He doesn't even jump rope. He doesn't do anything. Well, you can be more privy to say, no, from my experience, from what I've seen, he has. That's from what I've seen on site. So when you tell them that, they don't want to hear from it. All they want to do is go back to the childishness and start name calling and start criticizing anyone who support Deontay Wilder. They don't want to hear the truth. They don't want to hear you talk about it. That's been the norm. When I pop up on these other channels, they want to start talking about the same childish shit. And these are people who have kids around. They might have kids, bro. And they're teaching their kid, I want you to grow up to be the best ever. I want you to be a productive individual in society. I want you to be smart. I want you to go to college. But they themselves are on YouTube acting like they barely made it out of motherfucking middle school. It's crazy. Hopefully y'all got something out of Deontay Wilder and Malik Scott interview as of recent. Malik Scott, being an intelligent mind and contributing to the creative process in the camp, I think is going to be effective for sure. For sure. You can see Deontay Wilder got mad respect for Malik. He's been wanting to have him in the camp for a long time, but he just couldn't do it. He said he couldn't have a lot of people on the team. But I'm going to find out who that third person is. It's gonna be in confidence. But I'm curious. I'm gonna find out who that third person is for real. I'm curious. That he said, you know, many people should know him, and even the casuals should know him. He said even the casuals should know this individual. So I'm curious to know who they brought in the camp. And then you heard the PBC reporter ask about why did you see fit to bring somebody else in the camp for improvement? You know, because Malik said he don't know everything. He doesn't want to know everything. So you got to respect this shit, man. He's not coming off as being arrogant or nothing like that. Like he know everything. This is my ship. I'm going to run it the way I feel. He's open-minded enough to say, let me bring somebody else in here. So along with my teaching and their teaching, let's build upon it, period. It's beautiful when a plan comes into play, right? But it's just an unbelievable sight to see it executed. Perfectly executed. And that's what we're going to witness come July 24th. We're going to witness that. We're going to witness it, man. We're going to witness it comes into play 100%. The perimeter, the security, the measures that has to be taken place by Team Wilder, they're going to have to ensure that they come into Vegas differently this time. I think Wilder was asked about the violence that's going to take place. When was it going to take place, or how is it going to take place? And Wilder said, "Time I stepped down in Vegas." Shit. He said, "Time I stepped down in Vegas, man, it's on." And here's another thing, like, you know, shout out to Tay Jones. Salute to you, man. My brother, I appreciate you. I had the opportunity to see Deontay Wilder rolled in with the team. Backstage, when I say rolled in, I walked in with him back to the presser of him and Dominique Brazil. And you know, the champ was still, you know, communicating, cracking jokes. It's a guy who walked up with a boot on. And then, you know, he asked him, you know, who did you get in a fight with? And then he walked up on that stage with Dominique Brazil. It was a whole different person. You know, he knew what it was. He knew what he was there for. You know what I'm saying? I got to experience that. I'm not going to tell you I know everything, but don't question why I support an individual. You know what I'm saying? I've had the opportunity to see him down here at other fights. I've been to JD's fights where Deontay Wilder has shown up. I've been to MGM Grand. I've been to the post-fight conference. I had my share of media extravaganzas, man, media scrums, you know, with the champ. I seen him and Lennox Lewis embrace when they ran to each other in the press center. I mean, it just goes on and on, man. But I just want y'all to tune in next month. Support, unlike any other. Let your voice be heard. We need to band together and make sure when it's his time to walk to the Coliseum for war, that he hear the voices chanting. He understand that his people are supporting him. We need to make that shit loud and clear. It can't be no other option. We can't allow a group of British fans to come in this time and boo and sing Sweet Caroline. Hell no. We need to make sure that shit don't happen. We don't want to hear no Sweet Caroline. We don't want to hear none of that bullshit. We want to hear destruction and see destruction. That's all we want. Because I heard when he punched the shit out of Luis Ortiz. I heard when he punched the shit out of Dominique Brazil. Shit, I heard them punches up close, man. Let me get to the live chat, man. Appreciate everybody for pulling up today. Shout out to Stormy B for pulling up. Sir Ken say, Wood, stay real TV. Come on, bro. I want to entertain that, Ken. I want to entertain it. It's not even worth it. It's not even worth it. You know, you're gonna have trolls in here. If you have some boxing content, you know, some boxing input, put the drop in the live chat, then drop that shit, you know. Drop it in the live chat. That's what I want to hear. Drop it in the live chat, man. It was, if you haven't check out the preview, the preview and the prediction of Fury versus Wilder on Boxing 24. They have a video that's out. On the Fury versus Wilder 3 preview and prediction. So check that out, man. I looked at it. I'm not gonna, go over it right now. But as far as the words that they put in there, how they broke it down and everything, they didn't go too much in detail about the video, but they just broke down Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury, what transpired February, and then post-fight, pandemic, the arbitration being in play, the amount of months it took for us to determine if indeed Wilder would face Fury or Fury would face Joshua. They talk about him winning the arbitration. They talk about their first fight in 2018. And of course, the second fight, February 22nd. Talk about who was knocked down and everything. That's just basically the cliff notes of that. That's just basically the cliff notes. That's all. But check it out. Boxing News 24, man. They have a Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury preview and predictions. Now, once again, I encourage you to think for yourself. A lot of people have placed an unbelievable amount of doubt on Deontay Wilder returning to face Tyson Fury immediately. 15 months out the ring, they want to talk about the man needs a tune-up. And I just shake my head. I say, damn, these motherfuckers are talking about Deontay needing a tune-up when he finished the fight on his feet. Yes, he took some punishment, but we're talking about an individual that never quit like Anthony Joshua. Deontay Wilder has never been slept like Dillian White. Never. He's never been slept. Because when Dillian White was knocked out, people was like, oh, man, I just can't wait to see the rematch between him and Alexander Povetkin. I can't wait. And then Alexander Povetkin come out there looking like Wilder did when he went over the top rope February to face Fury in a rematch. His legs wasn't beneath him or nothing. Like, what the fuck am I watching? Deja vu? I do believe wholeheartedly that it's cowardly for people to attempt to put Deontay Wilder to the side and say what he should do. Like you all about what he should do. All of a sudden, Deontay Wilder should do this. He should take step aside money. He should take a tune-up fight. You're not talking in his best interest. All you're doing is basically trying to be selfish for yourself. And you're still hating on him, but you're acting like you're looking out for his best interest. And how we put that into play is you are encouraged to promote Joshua Fury. You up here acting like Deontay should take step aside money when you know the boxing community and his people will vilify the shit out of him for that. In the process of faking as if they're in his best interest once again. But really, all they want to do is see Fury Joshua. Anybody except Deontay Wilder in that equation. Anybody except him. That's basically what they're saying. Anybody except him. So right now we want to see a British. I have no idea why the U.S. boxing fans have lost their way. Not all of them, but a huge amount of them where you don't want to cheer for your U.S. heavyweight champion, but you want to cheer for a neighboring country heavyweight champion. You want to cheer for somebody else, which would not be a part of our boxing history. We have a boxing history over here in the U.S. You need to understand that we have our own solidarity over here, our boxing history. But you want to provide and gift that to somebody else for the heavyweight undisputed. Thank you, Deontay Wilder, for standing up. It's not like you have been working off your knees anyway. It hasn't been like that you rather crawl instead of walk. It's the point that the punishment that you took that night, there are many individuals who would have absolutely quit the sport of boxing and say, you know what? I'm just going to hang up my gloves and I'm call it a day, man. You know, I don't have it no more. You know, a weaker individual would have took that type of punishment and probably would have took 2 years out the ring. I mean, just think about it. Bernard Hopkins' first fight, he lost. And it took him about 1.5 years to return to the ring. What about George Foreman? How long was George Foreman out of the ring when he lost? Come on, all you boxing historians, how long? What do we hear during this hiatus of the pandemic? Deontay Wilder, he hasn't been in the ring. He need to take a tune-up. And then a lot of us saying, well, Tyson Fury's been out of the ring the same amount of time. So once again, you pretending like you are encouraging Deontay Wilder's best interest to take a tune-up for being out the ring for the amount of time. But also, Tyson Fury has been out the ring too. And what do you say? Let's see Joshua Fury. Let's go. Let's get it. That's what we want to see, Joshua Fury. No offense or buts about it. We want to see Joshua Fury. You're not talking about no motherfucking ring. You ain't talking about shit. You're not talking about anything, man. Hold on. I'm dropping some screenshots. They had the undercard press conference. So I'm just going through some screenshots right now. Okay, I already have that. I'm pulling up 2 screenshots right now, and I'm going to touch on something. This is the SKIDMARK Chronicles, EP number 9. In Japanese, cool. You know, this is indeed the SKIDMARK Chronicles episode number 9. Appreciate everybody for pulling up today and checking it out. Let me drop these screenshots, and I want to ask you all a question. So everyone who's tuned in to the live chat, you know, majority of this first half of this was all about, you know, Team Brahm Squad. I encourage your support for him stepping in the ring next month. It's going to be hot and heavy over there in Vegas. It's going to be absolutely an imposing presence. The energy is going to be different this time around because, look, people know it. People know Deontay Wilder go in here, gets his belt back. We're going to see how much a ducker I've always said Anthony Joshua is. Deontay Wilder has said, keep that same energy you was keeping with Tyson Fury. Keep that same motherfucking energy, Joshua, that you was keeping with trying to get a fight with damn Tyson Fury. Keep the same energy, because I'm telling you, like I told you years ago, that Anthony Joshua does not want any part of Deontay Wilder. Any part. Say what you want about when he fought Andy Ruiz. but he quit. Anthony Joshua quit. He has quitting in his blood. There, Anthony Joshua. He has quitting in his blood. Believe that. So when it comes down to, picking this title back up, regaining his title, what is the conversation going to be now? No, Deontay, you shouldn't be facing and talking about Anthony Joshua. He's done so much. He's a 2-time unified champion. You should face Dillian White. Listen to me. If you start hearing Eddie Hearns push Dillian White onto the table to challenge Deontay Wilder, believe me, it's the same shit that he was attempting to do back then in 2018, 2019. They was pushing Dillian White as the pawn to face Deontay Wilder because somehow, some way, they felt that Dillian White may have a possibility of lifting that WBC strap off Deontay Wilder. Come July 25th, Deontay Wilder is the new, again, 2-time WBC heavyweight champion, and all the freaking call-outs. There's no telling what Team Wilder's going to do. They start calling out Anthony Joshua. Watch what the naysayers do again. Watch. He calls out Anthony Joshua, and watch how they start putting other names into the equation. I really think he should face Herkovic first. To be honest, I think he should face that Dillian White guy, first. I know Daniel Dubois. What about Joe Joyce? Can we get Joe Joyce in there? Is there any way we can get Joe Joyce? Isn't he ready to face Deontay? Nah, he calling out Anthony Joshua. I don't. To be honest, I don't think he's done enough to face that. That Anthony Joshua. He's a mega superstar. He's selling out the arenas. Isn't he supposed to be facing Alexander Usyk? Isn't he? Well, let him face his mandatory. But he wasn't trying to face the mandatory when it came to Tyson Fury. I don't give a rat's ass what he was doing when all that shit was going on. I'm telling you now to get her done. Get her done. I think he should fight Alexander Usyk, which is rightfully his avenue to defend his title. Now, what y'all have to understand about Anthony Joshua is what I said months ago. I said, if Deontay Wilder, now let me back up a little bit. Let me damn Billie Jean. Let me Billie Jean a little bit. The WBO just came out with an extension. All right. They provided an extension on Joshua Usyk. That is potentially and probable to wait for the winner of Fury Wilder, right? So I can almost guarantee you Wilder get his WBC belt back. Anthony Joshua is facing Alexander Usyk or dropping the WBO title. However it goes down, we're going to see Anthony Joshua tap dancing again. And I hope his UK fan base hold him accountable and say, you know what? We've watched you over and over again bullshit us. It's time for you to go over there and face Deontay Wilder. It's time there, Joshua. It's time for you to face Deontay Wilder. Stop being scared. Give that same energy to fight Fury in December. Now, I want y'all to understand one thing. They're trying to look, they were scheduled to fight in a bogus August date. That shit wasn't happening. But now they're talking about fighting in December. That's what everybody's talking about. So check this out. If Deontay Wilder fights in July, August, September, October, November, that is 4 solid months. August, September, October, November. That is with, the Bronze Bomber taking damn near 3 weeks off after this fight because he had like three pre-camps already, right? He get his title back. They're talking about fighting in December. I don't want to hear people talking about, well, come on, give him a break, man. Give him a break. He already had Alexander Usyk lined up. What do we know about the unification? Undisputed. What do we know about a unification? It trumps some shit, don't it? Just like Alexander Usyk has been waiting in the corner with a dunce cap on while they try to plan this Tyson Fury fight. I haven't heard no step aside money. I don't know what the fuck Usyk has going on. At one point in time, Usyk said, I'm not going to take any step aside money. I want my shot. So I'm saying to myself, Usyk, you've been so quiet, my friend. You've been so quiet. I haven't heard you say a word. I want the people to keep the same energy. Come the 25th, let's not start talking about no motherfucking mandatory between Joshua Usyk. Keep the same energy you had with pushing for that fight that was bogus in August between Fury Joshua. Keep the same energy for Joshua to face Wilder in December. Don't come up here to my, well, me and Eddie Hearns has talked about it, and we pretty much came up with a plan. We're going to face Alexander Usyk in December, and then we'll have to see what the IBF is talking about, their mandatories. No, the UK say mandatories. We'll have to see what the UK mandatories are talking about in 2022. So let me ask you this, Anthony Joshua. Everybody wants to know, now that you know Deontay Wilder is two-time heavyweight champion, do you see him and yourself facing each other in the ring? Do you have him on your itinerary to step in the ring with Deontay Wilder? Well, first and foremost, I have to speak to Eddie Hearn about that. That's not, throughout history and me collecting all these belts, to be honest, I never really made decisions on my own. It's been me and Eddie Hearn. I have to speak to Papa. Let me speak to Papa. So once we sit down and have this conversation, and we'll come up with a plan. But like I tell you before, I have my mandatory. I have Alexander Usyk, and then also IBF. Probably face my IBF mandatory in 2022. But Anthony Joshua, Undisputed can trump all that. We can make this fight happen early with you and Deontay Wilder, just like you was going to go over to Saudi Arabia and face Tyson Fury. What I'm trying to say is, don't you want the big money fight like you was going over there to make that $100 million? Don't you want the big money? Like I said, Deontay Wilder, he has earned his, got his belt back. But to be honest, I think he should fight Dillian White. I still think him coming off that loss with Tyson Fury, I don't think he's done enough. I don't think he's done enough to step in the ring with me. But Anthony Joshua, you lost to Andy Ruiz. You got a rematch. You actually quit doing that fight. And we understand you have since stepped in the ring with Kubrat Pulev. But when we talk about top tier heavyweights, Deontay Wilder is a top heavyweight in the sport. So don't you believe it's right for you to acknowledge that and fight for the undisputed, which everybody wants to see? And people, Anthony Joshua is just going to come up with excuse after excuse after excuse. And we're going to watch his haters support the excuses. First, they were supporting Tyson Fury not facing Deontay Wilder. Now, Tyson Fury gets moved out the way. Now they're going to start supporting Anthony Joshua. They're going to start talking about shit we already know. He came back and he defended his title and he lost, and he came back, he won, he fought Kubrat Pulev. So since Anthony Joshua, after winning his titles back, he faced Kubrat Pulev. So Deontay Wilder should face somebody else. That's what Anthony Joshua faced Kubrat Pulev. So Deontay Wilder, he needs to face Dillian White. He don't need to fight for the undisputed. No way. Anthony Joshua has just done too much in life Did you see what he read off during the protest? I mean, come on. They're going to jump from Tyson Fury all the way over to Anthony Joshua. They're going to start talking about the arbitration was bogus. Deontay Wilder probably paid off the judge to him going in there. Something wasn't right with Tyson Fury, but he got the win. You know, Deontay Wilder got the win. And, you know, I think, look, this is what people are going to be saying. I think before Deontay Wilder faces Joshua, he should face Fury again. Somebody's already said that. You know it, right? Somebody said that Deontay Wilder, if he gets his belt back, we should see a fourth fight. Because in reality, the first time they met is outside the normality of somebody's calling it a rubber match because it was a draw. So they had the second one. We've seen what happened. They're about to have the trilogy next month. And people, you know, I've heard individuals speak as if Deontay Wilder should face Fury again. And I definitely have to be clear when I have to assume that you're acutely delusional because, you know, Wilder has the opportunity to fight for the undisputed titles. He has the opportunity to fight for the undisputed titles and strip every bit of heavyweight crowns that the UK has been suppling this entire time. They've just been babysitting the motherfuckers. Strip them of everything. What they say at 300? Take from them everything. Today we take from them everything, but give them nothing. You heard the interviewer say, "Hey, Deontay Wilder, this would be legendary. You know, you come back and win the arbitration, you get your belt back, and you go knock the fuck out of Anthony Joshua." That is some legendary shit. Like, really, that is some legendary shit right there. That's legendary shit. He beat Tyson Fury. He goes and beat Anthony Joshua. We'll just leave that storyline to where it is. All right, moving on. I'm off that right now, but appreciate people for tuning in. Let me get to the rhetoric. Let me get to the BS, shouty. Come on, then I'm out. Real talk. I'm out. Okay. So I happened to roll by SKIDMARK. You know, SKIDMARK was up there, you know, once again showing Deontay Wilder twerking with a panel of individuals that I'm assuming were men, all right, by the tone and deepness of their voice. But I could be wrong. Shit have changed as of late. It could be something else. But to be honest with you, I'm going to go with A, that there was men on the panel. So once again, they showed the interview with Deontay Wilder twerking again. And as I was speaking about last night, how infatuated and enamored, I'm talking about he's flustered, he's blushing to watch a man twerk. He brought it up again. But let me ask you this. When Sugar Hill was in there taking his clothes out like he was stripping for a female, but really across from him was Tyson Fury. You had Sugar Hill dancing, having fun in the same room with Tyson Fury, and they're both taking their clothes off. Now, I'm not making any insinuations. I'm just saying, when you was talking about Malik Scott and Deontay Wilder dancing, and you know he was lacing up his glove, these are two individuals that were dancing and stripping. I don't see any women in the room. It's just them dancing and taking off their shirts. So my question is, why are you so quiet on these two individuals that was dancing, I mean, wasn't that his trainer? Isn't that his trainer? You know what I'm saying? Taking his shirt off, having a good old time, look like a lot of alcohol ballers over there, whatever that shit is. But I don't see no women in the room. It seemed like they are stimulated for real. They might be off that Molly. I don't know. But the shirts are coming off. You know, they about to get into it. I'm just wondering why you're not really pulling up anything about them. That's all. And then, you know, those of you who understand who SKIDMARK truly is, he was putting out a challenge the other day, right? So he was over there challenging Batman, which Batman, if you listen to me, please don't go back over there, my brother. Man, we good, bro. We good, but why? Why did you put yourself through that, man? You are attached to the Russells. You just don't see the Russells out here on other, you know, just panels just for GP. You don't see them getting into it with people. If you know what you know about boxing, understand that. It's supposed to be, once again, that's what happens when you have people support every bogus word that Eddie Hearn says, right? He's putting out this bogus fight date that somebody's supposed to come up there to Memphis. Now, you're talking to a brother who was in Memphis for a whole week. You know what? You think I'm lying? Hold up. Hold up. They think I'm bullshitting. I was just recently in Memphis for a whole week. Let me show you right quick. Let me show you this pic right quick. Well, anyway, before I do that, right? So they supposed to have this bogus setup fight where, you know, he's saying he's gonna beat up all the old niggas, right? And I'm just saying to myself, damn, I have dropped the link. Can I be one of those old niggas you talking about? Like, I've dropped the link. What's different? Because every time I listen to it, I'm welcoming you. I'm welcoming you. Listen, people, I'm welcoming SKIDMARK. Don't sit up here and say, oh man, it's this and the other. No, he said I was 55 years old. He said he'll fuck my daughter, right? I told people I didn't have a daughter. And I have to admit to everybody I lied. Okay. I went and adopted. I have adopted a daughter 2 days ago. I did. I adopted the daughter 2 days ago. She has stage 3 herpes and acquired immune deficiency syndrome, which is AIDS. So what I did was I sent the request out. I say, if you really trying to have, you know, some type of intercourse or relationship with my daughter, you can. I have adopted one just for him out the trap house. I said, let me oblige him. So if you want to, no protection needed. You don't need to bring no contraception. Just come by yourself. Next, he's setting up this bogus fight as if he's gonna so-called beat down Batman, and then he's gonna go to 78 Sports TV. I'm telling you, bro. Listen, I'm telling you, don't forget about Batman and 78 Sports TV, right? Forget about all that. You've been knowing me long enough and hating and envious of what I got for the longest of time. All you have to do is come directly over here and we can set that fade up, shawty. Like so many people have did. If I'm so old, you say I'm 55 years old, man, that should be easy work because I see you hitting the bag. I see all that shit and I'm laughing my ass off. I'm not even intoxicated. And you gave me that type of laugh like I'm at happy hour and shit. When you just laugh at anything, I'm like, I know your people over here tuning in, you know, all them trolls you got on your channel. I know they tuned in, so they running back and telling you, but I'm not getting that response. Like, if you're looking for somebody who older, I'm just about older than anybody that shows up to your panel. Even Bill. And I saw where he dropped you a $9.99 super chat. That's a millionaire. Like I told you, feed the rat crumbs so they stay around. Feed the rat crumbs so they stay around. Hold up for a second. Hold up. Let me get this right. I'm about to pull up this shit when I was in Memphis, y'all. Hold on for a second. Hold on. Let me pull this up right quick. Where it's at? Where it's at? Where it's at, shouting? Where we at? Give me a moment. I'm trying to find the right picture. Trying to find the right picture. Where you at? Here, like people don't show up to Memphis. I was just there, bro. What are you talking about? I was just there, man. Hold up for a second. Oh, there it was right there. So let me drop some photos. Just some brief photos right quick. Hold on for a second. I'm going to save these joints right quick. And everybody who know and seen it, let's see. So back to what I was saying, right? If you're gonna challenge anybody, let it be I. I is he and he is him. You know what I'm saying? Let it be I. Don't sit up here and say you're gonna knock out all these old motherfuckers. Dude, listen, I already told you. The invitation is out there. Just click the link. We can set that up. We can set that up. Don't be calling out Batman because you think he's not gonna show up and he all the way up at the DMV. Don't do that. Don't sit up here and think you're gonna get a hold of 78 Sports TV because I don't look. I'm not speaking for him, but I'm just saying. You saying you're gonna knock out all the old guys, and then look, SKIDMARK goes on to say this goes for anybody that's on the panel. You got grown ass men that I know is not older than myself. Hey man, I'm too old to be fucking with you, man. I'm too old, nigga. You pussy ass, you bitch made. Y'all motherfuckers on the panel. I'm too old with your motherfucking gray goatee. I'm too old to fuck. So you trying to tell me you cannot fuck with a dope fiend, a crackhead? You cannot, if it came down to you defending yourself, you couldn't do it. A cat that's 5'2.5". You can't do it. A cat that's shaped like mashed potatoes. You couldn't do it. Man, y'all, man, it's a shame. It's a shame, Shawty, for real. It's a shame. It is absolutely a shame. Seriously. Looking at that shit, it's absolutely a shame. So let me put this shit up here. Let me show you where I was downtown. Let me bring up one more picture, right? And this is me taking these pictures. You know what I'm saying? This is me taking these pictures. So ask him where he know where's that at right there. This is me that I put up. I'm pretty sure you know where that's at downtown Memphis, right? Let me pull up another one. Where's the other one? You know where this at, right? You know what this is at. You got to. If you go outside, you know what I found out? I did a live the other day and I said, man, that nigga ain't gonna come out his room. If you look on his live, the other day, he's walking all around the house and shit. That's because of me, y'all. That's because of me. He had to come out his room because I told him, I said, you can't come out your motherfucking room. This nigga walking around the house, he done got permission. He got permission to walk around the house and shit. That's because of me, because he was in his room. Every other live, he was in his room. But my main focus is somebody. He said he gonna knock out all you old motherfuckers. The link is in the chat. Why can't I get that? Why can't I get that shit? I dropped the link in the chat. You all about links. Don't worry about 78 Sports TV. Don't worry about Batman. I got you, homie. Your ass up there hitting a bag that you bought from Target. It's not even hanging up. Like the bag is not even hanging up. You're punching a bag a couple of times, but you criticize Batman for punching and having equipment that's boxing ready. And you're saying he ain't throwing a jab and he's not throwing enough combinations. But you went up there and you was just hitting the bag as if you was doing the video. You putting on some damn fake ass. What's some ounce gloves that you had? What are those ounces gloves that you had, bro? What are you doing? You're punching a bag that's not even suspended by any type of chain or anything. It's not even a heavy bag. The bag is folding in half. I think you got maybe about 2 or 3 pillows in there and your stash of crack pipes. I just don't see where you was criticizing everybody else for pretending whoever that other guy was, I don't know. But you criticizing Batman for him punching the bag as if you did any more better than what he did. Like, people are not going to go through a full routine to a tyro. I mean, you're a boxing tyro. You're a novice at least. You're nothing more than a novice, bro. SKIDMARK. I accept that. I accept that. Just come over here so we can confirm. Come on, SKIDMARK. You say you're gonna knock all the old niggas out, right? Come over here so we can confirm that. Just please do me that. Let's end all this mumbo jumbo. I accept it. I accept it. Let's get this in. Don't call out people trying to be fake. Somebody, Batman, don't duck me and all that. What about World Combat Sports? What about Scotty? You know my name. What about me? You 30 years old, right? You old as shit too. If you knocking out the old niggas, I offer you the invitation. It's open invitation. I accept. People know I travel. You know why SKIDMARK is not gonna call me? Because he know I travel. He know that I move around. He knows that. He's not gonna call me out. He's gonna call somebody out that he don't see out here on the boxing scene, or people that don't travel or whatever. But he know I move, and I'm saying somebody let him know that I'm good. I can meet that date. Forget about all that bogus date you made already. I got you. I got you. I don't have to train for nothing. I'm good. It don't make a difference. Just tell me what gym you're gonna be at, and we'll do. I come in that mug, with a vlog. I ain't worrying about none of that. I know people in Memphis. I know people. I ain't worrying about nothing else you got going on. It's your town. Tell me what gym to be at so we can make this happen. Don't call out anybody, any old nigga, because you done made it perfectly clear. You say I'm 55, I'm 60, or whatever. You don't have to call out nobody else. I accept it. I accept it. Let's make it happen. Click the link. Andrew Charles said that punching bag shit had me rolling. Andrew, man, answer me this, bro. Answer me this right here. How can you have a panel of grown men not holding someone accountable and say, bro, Your bag is not even suspended. It doesn't even look like it's a proper heavyweight, a heavy bag, so you can really dig into it. Like, first of all, you're punching a bag that's moving every time you punch it down to the floor. Where was your bum ass brother at? Smoking crack? Was he high? Was he crashed out? You usually have your bum ass brother in there. Look, I'll give you a 2-for-1 special there, SKIDMARK. A 2-for-1 special. Real talk. This is all serious. It's 2-for-1 special. Let your brother get in the ring first. Let your brother get in the ring first. I will give you the opportunity to look at me humiliating your brother. Whenever he chooses to quit, because I'm gonna tell you straight up, I'm gonna give you the plan. I'm gonna give you the plan, SKIDMARK. I'm going to the body. So basically, when I dig to your brother's body, right, and I fold him up and ship him off, you get a chance to see what you have to deal with. You have the opportunity to say yes or no on whether you want to proceed. I don't want to hear no weight difference. I don't want to hear nothing because I'm old as shit. I'm old. I want to hear the same energy. No more old names, other old guys you calling out. I'm here. I can roll. I can roll. But I need for you to come over here and confirm. I need a confirmation. SKIDMARK. Put your brother in there first. This is real talk. Put your brother in there first. No headshots. I'm not going to do your little bum ass brother like that. For real. Because I want him to be able to drive you home. Seriously. So no headshots with your brother. I'm just going straight body shots. So after him, you have the option on whether you want to stay on the scene or flee. Fight or flight. If you choose to step in there, we're good. It's up to you on how many rounds you want to go. But the only thing I'm asking, SKIDMARK, don't come in there trying to tickle me with some shit. That shit I seen on your live, that shit tickled me. Like I couldn't stop laughing. Like I was like, wow, a panel full of men who believes that he's gonna knock somebody out. Like, dude, I'm curious to know if you wearing briefs or panties. These dudes is sitting around your pants. Oh, Batman, you might get knocked out, Batman. Look at how he's hitting. I'm like, damn, that's some soft shit right there. I had to channel my agent bro. I was like, that's some soft ass shit right there. Man, somebody go get SKIDMARK, tell him I'm good. I know you tuned in, SKIDMARK. You just don't want to click that link. I don't have no names. I don't have no defamatory names for you, SKIDMARK. SKIDMARK is enough. Come on over here, bro. Click this link and let's confirm, man. You know what it is. Stop all the hating. I've called you out several times, man, like everybody else. But the only reason I'm basically mentioning this because yesterday you say you're knocking all the old niggas out and you trying to challenge the whole panel. You are the second capper behind Ryan Garcia. It's Ryan Garcia in the Duck Masters Coalition, and you are second. SKIDMARK, you are the second pound for pound Duck Masters Coalition. You are the biggest capper on YouTube, and people still pull up because that's what happens, man. Mutts support mutts. You pull up and say, oh, I got to go see what SKIDMARK talking about. Let me go see what SKIDMARK talking about. Let me see who he's threatening. This nigga be threatening people and talking about he gonna knock their ass out and beat their ass. And people be actually pumping his head up, man. That's bitch made cheerleading type shit. That's mini skirt on the sideline with pom-poms. I'm telling you, you don't have to look any further. I accept, bro. Why call out people that you know that's not capable of showing up? They're not going to show up because they don't care. Why do that? You know I'm right here. You say I got the weakest channel. I'm 55 years old. I've been on YouTube for 20 years, which that's a lie. I've only been on YouTube since what? The end of 2018, 28 around that time. It haven't been long, but thanks for keeping tabs on me. I just want you to keep a tab on me right now and click that link and give the people what they so desire. 2-for-1 special, bro. You and your brother. Like I said, your brother, no headshots. Seriously. That's real talk, because I want him to be able to go back to the house and put his crack pipe in there. You can't do that when your jaw broken. So I want him to be able to go back to the house and smoke crack in comfort. I don't want his jaw sealed shut. Because as short as y'all are, I'm telling you what I'm gonna do. I'm telling you. If your brother say, okay, headshots is okay, I'm an uppercut. I'm sending number uppercuts, period. Because you're too short. I'm just gonna dig. I'm giving him the opportunity to be able to insert the pipe in his mouth and be able to continue with his crack ass life. That's why I said body shots. They can prove the point efficiently. For you, I'm just giving you the opportunity because I don't want your fans to sit up and say it was unfair. I want to give you the view first and then have you make up the decision on whether you want to tell the people, oh man, my stomach wasn't feeling well. I think I came down to COVID. I wasn't feeling well. That's all I'm gonna say on this. The biggest capper on YouTube, the monkey of YouTube. Then click the link once again. I've clicked the link to his channel plenty of times before. I've been there, done that. Click the link to my channel and accept this shit. I'm open. I'm here. But not just you. You put your brother into it. So I'm saying bring your brother, since y'all gang affiliate, since y'all talking about this gang shit, bring your brother with you and let's see how y'all get down. That's all you have to do. It's just gonna be as fair as we possibly can make it. Put my name out there, the old niggas that you calling out. Hey, I can show you some bag work too. If you want to see some bag work, I can give you the bag work, shawty. If you want the bag work, I can give it to you. You know, I've never really been in a fight. Look, this would be the first time I actually made contact with someone in an actual scheduled fight in my life, man. You might catch me slipping, bro. But man, anyway, I'm off this cat, man. Y'all continue to support the channel, stay close, turn up and tune in to World Combat Sports, and be sure to support the Bronze Bomber, man, heading into the arena, July 24th, man. SKIDMARK Chronicles EP number 9. You know what it is.
Pardon me and my tone. You can't step to my throne. They ain't working like me. I did this on my own. You asking where we been, huh? I don't know where to begin, huh? All this dirt on my skin. I just came here to win. I'm more than a man, I'm a monster. Somebody call a pastor, doctor. I got a 6 cents for imposters. So now I'm coming for the whole roster. It's not a game, why you playing with me? You could double back, lose track, try and hang with me. It must be in my veins, something you can't tame, cause I break the chains. Can't control me.